Hey everyone, how's it going? So, if you haven't watched my last video on the top 5 Moon Knight villains I want to see in the MCU, we're basically going to be doing a 5-part series where we do a villain spotlight on each week as an episode releases, and each week we're going to do another character I did in that video, explaining the history in the comics. So, obviously for part 1, you see the title, we're going to do Midnight Man. So Midnight Man first appeared in Moon Knight number 3 in January of 1981, and it's created by Doug Moench and Bill... I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry guys. It's right here on the screen though. Midnight Man's real name is Anton Mogart, who was a rich art collector who got a little too into his passions. So his greed for these art pieces that he loved collecting would drive him to don the mantle of Midnight Man, and just the name says it all, really. Midnight Man would rob either these museums or these other art collectors, and he would always strike at midnight. His outfit mainly consisted of a completely black jumpsuit with a black cape. Midnight Man himself doesn't have any powers, but he is recognized as a master thief, showing his speed and agility when moving around. He also did carry a gun and a decorative dagger that was also considered to be a part of his art collection. During Midnight Man's first encounter with Moon Knight, Anton would slip and fall from the top of a building into a giant pool of water, and from here he was presumed dead, but in reality the water ended up carrying Anton through New York's sewer system, and with this, getting chemical burns on his face from radioactive waste. Now with his face looking deformed, Midnight Man decided to stay in the sewers to lay low until several months later when he decided to work with Moon Knight's longtime villain, the Bushman, and they would work together to finally take revenge and kill Moon Knight. Together they would end up trapping Moon Knight in the sewers where Anton lived until the Bushman would actually end up double-crossing Midnight Man, leaving him to drown and die with Moon Knight. But, this is a Moon Knight comic, so they would end up escaping the sewers. With Midnight Man escaping once again, this would actually be one of the last times we'd ever see him, because we'd find out later on that that chemical waste that ended up burning and deforming his face was actually killing him. So as he would die from cancer, he would end up being on his deathbed, and he would reach out to his long-lost son, Jeff Wild. And he would end up teaching everything he knew, and even giving the mantle of Midnight Man to him with only one caveat, and that was to become a hero and to not follow in his footsteps. So I would cover Midnight Man's son here, and he goes by Midnight, but he's actually something worth for a whole nother video, because Midnight has a longer history than Midnight Man himself, and I didn't want to take away from this character today. Midnight was kind of cool. He was kind of interesting. He ended up being the sidekick for Moon Knight for a while, so maybe we'll do one down the road if you guys are interested. If you guys like this stuff, though, make sure to check out the next part. We're coming out next week. I hope you guys check that out. I'm super excited for this Moon Knight series. Tell me what you guys think down below. Other than that, if there's some characters that I'm not talking about that you guys want me to talk about, I'm super open for suggestions, so feel free to tell me. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a great one, and I'll check you guys out later. See ya.